Yes.
I mean, that's at the crux for me of what going high is, right? I mean, going high is being strategic. If you're really trying to make change, you have to think about whether your approach will allow for change to happen. You know, going high means you're thinking about a broader point outside of your own anger or hurt or pain. You're thinking, where am I trying to get to and how do I do that with this group that I'm trying to move? That's passion matured into purpose. And young people often, they want to just act with passion.
Yes.
Right? But passion doesn't always solve a thing. Wow. And I've learned that in my relationship. You know, my passion is meaningless if my husband can't hear it. You know, if I've hurt his feelings in the process, well, that's not the point, you know? So I have to mature my passion. You know, I have to mature it as a mother, right? I have to be very careful as a mother with the words I say. I can't just say what's on my mind. I have to think about how I say it to which child.
Yes.
Because they're both different and they both need to be parented different, right? So going high is like, to me, it's the mature way to live, right? It's it's a mature way to get the message across. It doesn't mean that how you feel isn't relevant, right?
Yeah.
It's true. It's real and true. But that's for you to deal with. When
1000%.
You're dealing with external people, whether it's your husband or your kids or your friends, your passion has to take weight of, well, what's going to work with this person? What's going to work with this group of people? To me, that's what going high is.
Yeah, what a great definition. I think you're the best person to have this conversation with. I love how you explain the need for that. And actually, I don't think I've heard it explained in that way before. I really appreciate it because I think currently we've confused being authentic and being strategic. What you were just saying is when you're sharing how you feel, you are being authentic, but maybe it won't be authentically received or heard or seen because it wasn't strategically perceived. But we sometimes today perceive strategy as manipulation as a technique, as opposed to...
Or selling out.
Right. Walk me through that, because I think how we perceive, we've put authenticity on a pedestal, which is not wrong, but we've put strategy as like the thing that you kind of, shun.
Well, and maybe strategy is too strategic or hard of a word,
right.
But you could replace that with empathy, right? You know, if connectivity, it's sort of like, who am I trying to move? And where are they in this, right? And when you're the president of the United States or the first lady, you have a big platform, I've always felt like I have a responsibility to set my feelings aside and think about, where are you? Why are you so angry? Where is your hate coming from? Because, I can be mad at your hate. I can be mad that you just said something racist or you knocked me down a peg or you misjudged me. But if I'm trying to fix the relationship, I've got to understand, what are you going through? Where did that perception come from? What's your history? What puts you in this spirit of hate? Because that's going to dictate how we can even begin to have the conversation. Yes. I don't lose my authenticity in that because I know who I am, right? But I have to make room to understand who you are. That's either strategy or empathy. But to me, effective communication, especially if you're a leader, if you have the power, it requires a step back, right? And I think that's what going high is. And you're right. I think in this day and age, we've kind of supplanted that consideration because my feelings count. My voice has to be heard, which is also why I think we have to learn how to hear people throughout, right? We have to give people a space to be heard outside of the anger. Right? Because that's where all that's coming from, right? When people can't mature their response, it's because they don't have a voice. It's like, if I don't have a voice in regular conversation, then I will make you hear me.
Yes.
All right. Young people feel that way.
Absolutely.
All right. Oppressed people feel that way. People who don't have a stake in it feel that way, which is why I think it's strategic to give everybody a piece of something so that they feel seen and heard. I think that ratchets down the anger, the explosiveness, because people can guarantee that they are being seen, they'll be heard. They don't have to yell. They don't have to tear something apart. They don't have to break it because they own it. And we just lose sight of that.
1,000%.
These days in our policies and our perspectives, you can't shut people out. You know, I talk about in the light when I think about kids from communities that are underinvested in, their anger, their lack of, like, none of this belongs to me, so why would I protect it? Why wouldn't I break down your house or rob you or try to take your car? Because I don't own any of this. This country is not mine. They don't see me.